Right guys and girls, here it is, and you can probably tell by the thumbnail, this full car that runs and drives cost me a full £200. Now, whether it was a good buy or what, well, it can't be a bad buy, because worst case scenario, if it turns out to be a bag of bolts, I'll literally just scrap it and get my 200 quid back. So deals like that don't come along very often. Basically, it was one of the viewers, a local lad called Chris, that phoned me up, well, messaged me and says, look, I've got this Seat, I'm going to scrap it, it's lying out my back door and he wants rid of it. And they offered me it for the same price as the scrap man had offered him, so 200 quid, bargain, can't lose at that price, can you? So it went up, put some jump leads on it, fired straight into life, so it did. Battery was flat obviously, but with jump leads, boom, there we go. Turned over like a champion. The next thing about it is though, and one of the reasons why it was so cheap is the dampness has got into the inside. Whilst the car's been laid up, it's been lying out the back for about 18 months or something, and the inside is just vile. I mean, the mould has just taken over inside. It is horrible in there. The seats are covered from top to bottom in mould. The steering wheel is just grim. The headlining isn't mouldy, but it's just filthy. They've tried to put some dehumidifier packs in it to try and absorb the mould, but the moisture, but that's just filled up and then fallen over and spewed its guts all over the floor. It's a horror story in there, so it's going to need a proper seats out clean. Seats out, clean the carpets as best we can, steam clean as much as possible, just to make sure we get as much of that mould out as possible. And then after that, we'll need to get it down for its MOT. Now the reason we're cleaning it before we take it for its MOT is because the MOT tester would just refuse to get into it the way it is. And it's the MOT guy that will decide whether this car is worth fixing or not, because if it's going to cost £500 or £600 to put through an MOT, it's not worth fixing really. I would just scrap it and get my money back. Before we get started on this filthy Seat, I just want to take a quick moment to say a massive thank you to our continued sponsor, yfoods. If you haven't heard of yfoods before, they're a company that make a range of meal replacement products. They do ready-made milkshakes. They also do milkshakes that you can sort of make yourself, powdered shakes if you like, and they also do a range of bars. Now, the main thing I find about them is because it's an actual meal in a bottle, this it isn't a diet shake or anything like this, it's an actual meal replacement drink, so it is like a lunch or a dinner in a bottle. So the good thing I find about them is that for me, when the lunch van comes in at work selling pies and stuff like that, I would go out, buy a couple of pastries, and then for the next 2 hours after eating that, I would feel absolutely gross because I would get bloated for the pastries. Now what I've actually started doing is, rather than doing that, I'll have one of these, and for the rest of the afternoon, I'm not hungry. It's great. I just don't even think about food for the rest of the day. They're really, really good. They're particularly good as well if you're getting caught short or something like that for food, or if you're time limited. Just have one of these and away you go, and you're not hungry for a good 3 or 4 hours. They're really fantastic. They do a range of flavours. We've got choco here, berry, vanilla, banana. My personal favourite is cold brew coffee. It's just like a cold coffee. It's absolutely brilliant. Really, really nice. And they also do a vegan range as well. And everything just tastes fantastic. They're well worth checking out, guys and girls. Click on the link in the description box. There's also a 10% off code. I shall put that on the screen round about there. Click on the link, check them out. You never know, you might actually find something you like, but definitely have a look. Let's go on with the clean.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away now. Good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna try. drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. Is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. The feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive.
So as you can see, we got the seats out, and I mean, no major surprises really. It is absolutely grim down the sides of those seats. Just look at that. There's cotton buds and old food and everything down there. There is some coinage going on that we'll put in the charity tub, so that's always good. You can actually see the seats a bit better now that they're out. The back seat in particular, just look at that. That is, well, it's pretty grim. Anyway, let's just get it cleaned.
I saw a light when you passed me by. The reason why I shine, you're the reason why. I thought I caught your eyes, but love is blind. I thought I saw you smile.
I'm looking for a way inside your mind. It's a haze of mysteries. All I see is smoke and mirrors, and the reflecting memories. I need to figure out how things are twined. The ropes are choking us. If only I could blow away the heavy clouds up in our sky. I see you. Can you see me too? dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd. Listen the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you. Never look down, love, not when we shine so bright. The sun is getting warmer when we soar away among the clouds. The sky is just a border when we're floating up like helium.
It's cleaned up better than I thought it would, this thing, definitely. Anyway. Well, guys and girls, there you go. 200 quid for that, and it's cleaned up pretty darn good, I think. I was going to do it a wee bit on the sort of tidying up the outside on it, the bodywork, giving it a polish and stuff like that. But the MOT guy has phoned me. He's actually got a slot for tomorrow morning. He's going to check it out for us, make sure it's roadworthy, and if it is, then we'll get an MOT on it. And if it isn't, then we'll find out exactly what it needed for its MOT. I do know that it needs some work on the exhaust because it's got a noisy exhaust on it, but even if I have to spend £200 or £300 on it to get it through its MOT, that would mean I'd be into it for 500 quid. And that's a bargain at the moment. At the moment, cheap cars, anything that's sort of semi-decent is doing £1,000 and over. You know, cheap stuff like that. I mean, that's sort of, with an MOT on it, that's a £1,000 car, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's just cheap cars are mad at the moment. Inside of it's cleaned up really, really well. The seats have cleaned up lovely. The steering wheel, it's like a different story with the steering wheel on it. We did have to leave the seats there for a couple of days just to dry fully, but they've dried up nicely. And even just giving the outside of it a wash and getting rid of all that sort of mould and stuff that was stuck to it, and the algae and stuff that was stuck in all the seals, it's made just a massive difference. And that's what you can do, just by spending a day on a car with some soapy water and stuff like that. It's amazing the difference you can make to a car just with a bit of elbow grease. So I hope you enjoyed that sort of video, and in the next one, as I say, we'll do the outside and see what it needed for its MOT, so tune in for that one. And also, if you don't mind, guys and girls, if you would click on the yfoods link at the bottom, just have a look at what they've got to offer. Just by clicking on that link, I get a wee kickback off of that, and you're helping to support the channel. So if you've enjoyed what you're watching, just click the link, have a look around. If you see something you like, try it out. If it's not for you, then by all means, walk on by, sort of thing. But thanks very much for just taking a look. I always ask a wee question at the end, actually, don't I? And my wee question for this video is, I think fitting, actually, this has been an absolute steal, this car, for me. I've no doubt about it. It's just been one of those cars that came along at the right time at the right price. And my question is, what's the best deal that you've ever had on a car? Have you ever bought a cheap banger that's lasted you much, much longer than you thought? Maybe it was supposed to be a stopgap car or something like that, and it's turned out that you've ended up keeping it way longer than you thought, or it's just been so reliable you've not wanted to get rid of it. So guys and girls, thanks very much for watching. Click the yfoods link if possible, and I will catch you in the next video to see exactly what this needed for its MOT. Thanks again. Bye.